G'day guys. This week I've decided to go Oriental and I have got a recipe or a demonstration on how to make sushi. It's really easy and it's really quite quick to make if you prepare things beforehand. And I've also thrown in a bit of a marinade for some chicken that I've used in sushi as well. So I hope you enjoy it. It's really easy. Feel free to ask any questions if you don't understand anything, but I hope you enjoy it. Cool beans, guys. Now, before we start with our actual sushi, I'm going to prepare a cheats version of a teriyaki sauce, so I can marinate my chicken in for the sushi. So we're going to start with 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, followed by 1 teaspoon of freshly grated ginger, also 1 teaspoon of grated or finely chopped up garlic, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar. And just to finish things off, we're going to stick in 2 tablespoons of rice wine. If you don't have it, it's not 100% necessary that you stick it in, but if you got it, sweet, stick it in. We're just going to mix this in so it's nicely mixed, and then we're going to stick in our chicken. Now for the sushi, I've cut the chicken into nice thin strips so it cooks faster and we can cook it fits into our sushi a lot easier. So we're just going to put this aside just to let all the flavours marinate through the chicken for about half an hour while we prepare the rest of our ingredients for our sushi. Now I have to admit that I haven't shown you how to actually cook the rice itself. It's pretty self-explanatory. Make sure you get sushi rice, it's the first thing you need, and simply follow the instructions on the back of the packet. Pretty self-explanatory, like I said. But you might add in 1/2 cup of rice vinegar to your boiling water with the rice. This will give a really nice flavour when we come to actually make sushi in the end. Okay, so your rice is cooled down since we've finished cooking it. You've cooked your chicken and you've got all your ingredients that you wish to stick in your sushi. I'll run through them later, what they could be. So now the crux of this video, what it's all going to be about, is assembling the sushi. Now what you're going to need is a mat of bamboo skewers like I have. You can pick these up like specially designed sushi rollers, but I made mine out of bamboo skewers and some duct tape. Works an absolute treat. Doesn't need to be flash, it really helps when you come to roll your sushi. So what we're going to start with is our seaweed, and we're going to grab our nice cold sushi rice, and we're going to spread this out on our seaweed with around 1 centimeter thick layer of rice to 3 of the corners, 3 of the edges, sorry. Make sure you keep one edge free. This will make sure that when we come to roll our sushi, it's not going to fall apart, that we can actually use it to stick the roll together. Alrighty, now for the actual filling of your sushi. The combinations of the filling is completely up to you. You might have a favourite down at your local sushi shop that you might want to reciprocate. I always go with salmon and avocado, and like I said, I like a teriyaki chicken with a bit of vegetables chucked in there as well. So we're going to begin with our salmon, and we're just going to layer this in the centre of our seaweed and our rice, followed by our avocado. And now is for, I guess, the trickiest part of the actual sushi making is actually rolling it. So before we start rolling it, we're going to grab our finger, we'll dip it in a little bit of water, and we're just going to wet the outside edge that I told you to keep spare. This will make sure that the seaweed sticks with the seaweed once we roll it, and make sure our sushi roll doesn't fall apart. Now what we're going to do is grab our mat and our seaweed and rice and everything else at the same time. We're just going to fold it over to start with. And then as I'm doing, simply continue rolling our sushi until you get to that edge that we've wet, and press the seaweed pieces together so it forms a nice sort of tight sort of seal, and rest the sushi roll on that edge so it doesn't sort of spring apart while you're making your other rolls. And congratulations, you've just made your first sushi roll. And all we're going to do is continue doing the same process, but you might want to change the filling. So in the next sort of segment I've got here, I'm going to be making our chicken one. Now I'm going to stick in some cucumber, some carrot and some capsicum with our chicken. And once again, we're going to do the same rolling technique. Make sure you incorporate the ingredients on the first roll and then continue rolling until you get to that wet edge of sushi, and press your sushi layers together, and then you've got a nice sort of tight. Make sure it's very tight. You don't want a loose sushi roll. When you come to cut it, everything will fall apart. So get it as tight as possible. And once you get to that wet edge, make sure it presses together nice and firmly and rest it on that edge while you make the rest of your sushi. Okay, so now you got all these sushi rolls of all different sort of flavor combinations that you've done. You can leave it like that. I've known people just eat the sushi roll as is, but normally you see them in the shop cut into pieces. So grab a nice sharp knife, and then we're just going to cut sort of 1 to 2 centimeters, most probably 2 centimeter thick rings of our sushi. Make sure it's a sharp knife, otherwise it'll just destroy our sushi. And we're going to plate these up. Serve with a little bit of soy sauce. If you're really into some wasabi, go for it. My brother absolutely did his head in the other night, put way too much wasabi on and burned his mouth out. Don't do that. Make sure you enjoy your sushi. You just put some nice hard work into it. So really there it is. It's really quite simple once you actually get all your ingredients done. If I wasn't quite clear, it's quite hard to explain. If it wasn't quite clear, just feel free to ask me a question below. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I'll see you next week with another recipe.